Some news just coming in. Special Commissioner Shalini is saying, in fact, getting more details of this information at this hour of the Delhi crime probe. These are inside details that we are getting of the Delhi crime probe. How many calls were made to the PCR by witnesses and by the general public to talk about this accident? We're getting, in fact, the police is going to be probing this entire matter about the number of calls that were received to the PCR, after which the body was then taken to the hospital. The special CP is going to be investigating this matter, is what we know. Special Commissioner Shalini Singh is going to conduct an internal inquiry in the Sultanpuri case and report to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Shalini Singh will investigate how many PCR calls were made that night, what was the response time of the PCR call, and the policemen then present in it. Shalini Singh will investigate if the girl was dragged by car for 12 to 13 kilometers. Then why was no Delhi police there? Who then didn't notice the accident? Shalini is also going to know that how many PCR vehicles were present on the route during which the girl was dragged. These are details of the investigation. How many were there? How many police officers were there? And why did policemen did not see it, if at all anybody was present? Also, we'll record the statements of all officers involved in the investigation. If there has been any sort of negligence, who is guilty of negligence in this case? Shalini Singh also to look at the route where the accident took place and where the body was dragged. Up until the complete report is going to be prepared and sent to the Ministry of Home Affairs, the negligence of any policeman is going to come to light possibly, and then action is going to be taken against the police officer in question. If deficiencies are found in the response time of the PCR, then it is going to be recommended that action be taken against the officers in question. Milan Sharma is at the mortuary getting asked more details. Milan, finally the family members have in fact said that the post-mortem report, of course, is something that they're collecting as we speak. The cremation of the victim is going to happen today.
Well, yes, Neha, finally the post-mortem seems almost over, and now the family that is here outside the mortuary at the moment at the Maulana Azad Medical College is just waiting for the final formalities to take place, and inside right now the final documentation and paperwork is being done. Of course, a lot of questions surrounding this particular hit and run accident, a brutal culmination of a new year for this particular victim, and of course the family, what they are telling us is that they want to finish the final rites as well of this girl, and they will be doing it today itself perhaps, but of course the location is going to be Karan Vihar, and that is exactly what we are waiting for right now outside the mortuary for the final formalities to happen, after which the body will be taken from here, the mortal remains for the final rites. Of course, there's a issue there being a very brutal case coming to light, and since we've been covering it also, there is a sense of anguish in the people as well of the local area, and all that will need to be assessed as well before the girl's mortal remains are taken out from here, Sneha.
The mortal remains will be taken by the family members, after which the cremation will be carried out. Milan, horrific details about the condition in which the body was found, but important for us to reiterate, just to give the viewers a sense of the horror. The young woman, was put under for 12 kilometers, dragged. Just take us to the details of what really happened there. For 12 kilometers, the body continued to be dragged under the car, though the version coming in from those behind this have said that we didn't know that the body was stuck underneath the car. That obviously is impossible, isn't it?
Well, Sneha, definitely. The kind of brutality that has been meted out in the case is a question for both, for the people who are involved in this particular matter, who are currently in remand, and also for the police and the security arrangements that were supposed to be in place in and around Delhi on a day like the 31st Eve and the first day of the new year. If such an incident has occurred, how come when the accident happened, the girl who got mangled with the car was dragged for almost 12 kilometers, and no one seems to have noticed that this particular brutality was being meted out at that moment, and which is why this case happens to be one of the rarest of the rare and brutal killings in a hit and run accident. It's not just a common or not just a everyday accident that we report, which is why perhaps a high level inquiry has been put in place for this, and the police also will have to answer several questions of the kind of security deployment that was in place at that day. Of course, there are other questions also being asked, whether she was accompanied by a second girl on the scooty when she was there, and these people who have now been, in the custody of police, their identities have been ascertained, and a case certainly will be filed. But definitely for the family, it's a shocking reminder of the fact that an accident that's gone in this way to perhaps be one of the rarest and rare and highlight in the brutality of the way that it was meted out, which is why the family is here. Not all members, perhaps only a brother and an uncle, and others meanwhile are trying to grieve the passing away of this particular girl as we wait for her mortal remains from the mortuary to be taken to cremation for her final rites. Neha.
Milind, I'm going to thank you for the moment.